Good morning. This is Watchman Wick. You can just call me Wick. Coming to you this morning on a brisk morning. Excuse me, just walking around my farm. It's really a homestead. I'll just give you a glimpse of all the junk I got around here in the house, real quick. The purpose of this video is to give public notice and hopefully to answer some questions that people may have when they see our recorded public notice posted around town. It'll be at the clerk's bulletin board in Cabarrus County at the courthouse. It'll also be running in the newspaper. Excuse me, got a hidden building here. As you can see, I'm actually doing chores. Got to get my stuff done. Try to knock all this out at the same time. The reason for this video is for our public notice. Okay, there'll be a link to this video on public notice, so that if anyone is curious as what's going on, what the process is, they can go and listen to this video, and hopefully it'll save a lot of time that I won't have to explain this to a whole bunch of people over and over and over again. I'm being joined with some other men in filing this claim. We start off with recording a public notice of a town meeting. Now that's just specific verbiage, but it doesn't mean a specific town. It just means it's going to be held in a town. Now, my comprehension from my searching for knowledge is that the reason you have a town meeting starts with Scripture. So when people think that the Constitution is the law of the land, I'm sorry, big guys. I'm going to call it the ultimate law. Forget supreme law. I'm going to call it the ultimate law, and that is Yahweh's law. He told us that when we have a case, that we're to take it before the city gates to the elders. Okay, so that's what a town meeting is. Town meeting, we publish it, say we're going to have a town meeting. And so anyone who has a stake in the claim, they need to show up at that town meeting. If they don't show up at that town meeting, they waive their right to say anything about it. Okay, so at this town meeting, what we're going to do is we're going to make a motion to select a jury of our peers. That's also backed in Scripture. Yahweh says, when you go into the land that I take you, and that's wherever you happen to be, set up for yourselves judges. Okay, and these judges are supposed to judge according to his right ruling. Okay, we're not seeking justice. Okay, because justice is a word that represents Justitia. I guess I'm saying that correctly. And she's a pagan Roman goddess. And she's so stupid, she has a blindfold on. So she wouldn't know what's right from wrong if you hit her upside the head with it. Matter of fact, she wouldn't know anything because she's a dumb statue. Okay, and the existing one, everyone knows. Everyone, just look around at this beautiful countryside. This was created for our benefit. Okay, it's Earth, and He gave it to us to take care of and to enjoy, and to treat each other with kindness and respect. But at the same time, when somebody does something wrong, they got to pay. Okay, I don't agree with the New Testament. Turn the other cheek. Don't find that in the Torah whatsoever. The Torah says an eye for eye, tooth for tooth, limb for limb, and life for life. Okay? And he says, don't even let your eye pity your own family member. Because if you let your own family member get by with crookedness, then it's going to spread. And that's what's happened. Everyone needs to read the book called The Rulers of Evil by Franklin Tupper Saucy. I believe he passed away a few years ago. He will uncover, you will read about how he uncovered this sinister plan by this group of people that I will call, because he uses it, the rulers of evil. I will go a step further. Their Gestapo henchmen are the American Bar Association and the subsidiaries in each state. Yes, that's right. If you're a bar attorney and you're watching this video, you're a liar. Okay? I'm going to share a little story that my nephew shared with me, and that was he couldn't decide whether he wanted to be a doctor or if he wanted to be an attorney. So when it came time for, in his high school, to go to career day, he spent a day at the courthouse with some attorneys, and he came home and told my sister, his mother, "Mom, I can't be an attorney. They're nothing but liars." And he's absolutely right. Now, I had good old Roxanne Vanekuven, who told me, "I know that you're a man of truth, and while it might seem like we're telling a lie, sometimes you take a plea for a lesser offense just to get it through the courts, blah, 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 blah." Well, Roxanne, that's a lie, okay? If you want me to plead, which is praying to their court, which means I would be praying to the statutory created God sitting on the bench that is the temple priest or priestess for Justitia, well, you can guess again, okay, because I'm innocent. I have harmed nobody. I have done nobody any wrong. I have been pulled over. I have been arrested multiple times. It has cost me dearly, both in finances and in a marriage, to a woman that I love dearly, but she couldn't take the pressure. She's just too sweet, not knowing whether I was going to get locked up and not come home, tore up. But unfortunately, I'm on a journey. I'm a watchman for Yahweh, and when he tells me to do something, I got to do it. I can't not do it, and I'll make sure that she's taken care of. But she asked for a divorce, and I granted it to her. And I don't need the state of North Carolina to tell me it's okay to do that, because the state of North Carolina is nothing but a corporation, and I'm going to rescind any signatures with the state of North Carolina. I've already done some, but I'm going to actually have a court order that will be signed by a magistrate, a non-bar attorney magistrate. It'll have the foreman's signature, which he will represent a jury of 12 of my peers, and everyone that I'm coming against as a wrongdoer. And it'll also have the clerk of court signature and the seal of the court. Okay, that's important. If you look at all your orders from judges, these alleged judges, they're nothing but administrators in private for-profit courts. We'll show you a Dun & Bradstreet report that shows that the courts here in Cabarrus County Courthouse, they're not the state of North Carolina. They're private for-profit corporations called Judiciary Courts of the State of North Carolina. Okay, they're incorporated. All municipalities are incorporated, and the way they get jurisdiction is they get you to hire an attorney. They get you to let them give you an attorney, or they get you to represent or represent yourself. I can't represent myself. I am who I am. So what's going to happen is we'll have this town meeting. We'll make a motion to select a jury of our peers. When we finish selecting the jury of our peers, we'll select a foreman, and we'll probably select at least 24, because there'll be 5 of us there, and we can't sit on our own case. So we'll make sure that we have enough jurors. So if you have a concern about COVID vaccination, you want to be at this meeting, or you want to pay attention. I'll give updates from time to time as it moves forward to let you know where we are. And but we'll also show you a link to this, the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina. And I'll highlight several things. Both constitutions, especially the State of North Carolina, which I start with that one. These judges and attorneys, they violated the Constitution of the State of North Carolina that they have sworn to uphold. But it tells you that any civil matter, and that's what everything is, because there's no injured party, that a jury of our peers still stands as the best thing, okay? But what they do is they think, well, if we can just convince you not to do that, then we're okay. And they say it slows down the court system. No, it doesn't. What slows down the court system is that to pay for this new courthouse, they're writing tickets left and right. You know, they're robbing you of your money because, you know, so you're going 55 in a 45, okay? Did you hurt anybody? You know, now for the knucklehead don't know how to drive, don't know how to travel. Drive is a trick word, but we're going to use it because I'm going to be tried by a jury of my peers, and they're not going to go for this trick words. They know my intent. My intent is to make sure that I protect everybody. quick story. One time I was adjusting my radio in my truck, driving on Mount Pleasant Highway, and I knocked the mailbox off with the mirror of my truck. I turned back around, knocked on the door. Lady came to the door, and I said, "Ma'am, I apologize. My mirror of my truck hit your mailbox and tore it up." I says, "I can pay you to fix it, or I'll be happy to fix it for you." And she says, "Well, if you'll fix it, that'll be fine." I went straight to the supply house, got a mailbox post, got a mailbox. At the time, I had plenty of guys working for me. I told one of them, I said, "Hey, go put this mailbox up over there. Let me know when you're done." When it got finished, I came back, I knocked on her door, and I said, "Ma'am, we've got your mailbox up. Are you happy with it?" She said, "Yes." That's what a righteous man does. Now, do I make mistakes? Yeah. I'm not bragging. Everybody should be that way. You know, when you do something, you got to make it right. Okay? The point I'm trying to get across is that after the jury is selected, then we'll move at our time. We'll hold court when we get ready to hold court. And we will make sure that all parties of interest are notified. That's all those bar attorneys, all those highway patrolmen, all those city police deputy sheriffs, district attorneys, that they're all notified that, hey, you have violated your oath. You know, and this junk of calling people sovereign citizens, all you gotta do is read the state of North Carolina, Article 1, I think it's Section 2. It says that the people are sovereign. It's titled Sovereignty of the People. Okay, so what are you trying to say? You're saying that you're laughing at what you pledged an oath to uphold? The problem is that they have more than one oath. They have an oath to the bar. They have an oath to the crown temple. Okay, and that's a secret oath that they don't publish. Okay, which basically is something, I'm told, that says this is superior to any other oath you take, and it's okay if you do anything, take any other oath. You can just disregard it. It's kind of like the Roman Catholic Church. They say you can say about anything you want to a non-believer, and it's not binding. I'm sorry. You know, the only thing that Scripture tells me that allows me to lie, Solomon talks about it in the Proverbs. He says, "Answer a fool according to his folly, and don't answer a fool according to his folly." So I always like to use the example in Exodus when Pharaoh told the Hebrew midwife to kill all the male babies. Well, they didn't do that because they can't do that. That's murder. Okay, and so when Pharaoh found out it didn't, he said, "How come is it that you don't follow my order?" And they said, "Well, these Hebrews women are not like the Mitzrayim or the Egyptian women. They're vigorous. They have the baby before we get there." Well, that was a flat out lie. But it says that Yah blessed them with houses. Now that didn't mean he built the midwives' houses. If you actually dissect the words, it means that they were blessed with families. So those families kept continuing because they did what was right. And I'm sure that pissed old Pharaoh off, but he was a fool. I mean, I read the end of the story. You can tell he was a fool, big fool. And I'm here to tell all you bar card carrying men and women, you're a fool. And you better straighten your act up because we're coming after you. And we're not going to hurt you. Nah, we're just going to take all your possessions, going to put you in jail, going to put you in prison because that's where you belong. I just spent 30 days in the Cabarrus County Jail for contempt because I told him I didn't understand the nature and cause, I challenged the jurisdiction. Well, the Constitution says I have a right to know the nature and cause, which means who got injured and how I injured them, so that I can make remedy. But I can't, okay, because nobody got hurt, okay? And when jurisdiction is challenged, the Supreme Court has said it's got to stop right there and it's got to be proven. Well, they can't prove it. So this numbskull of a guy who calls himself an honorable judge, he thinks he can just say he has jurisdiction. But something that I think kind of made him a little upset is when I went into court, I had recorded that I was the owner, administrator, and sole proprietor of the name, person, and estate of Glenn Wickernell Jr. Well, that takes any room for him out. I have 1 foot in equity and 1 foot in law, and there's nowhere for anybody else to stand. So he couldn't issue a bond, which is what he does to make money. He's trying to profit off of you people when you come in there. He's not a third party without an interest. Oh, he's got a big interest. He's going to get you the contract so he can make money off of you, and that's wrong. You know, I'll sit as a judge for anybody, not ask for a dime. You know, people have asked me to mediate for them. You know, that's no big deal. I don't mind doing that. I had a friend, Mike King, did that for me. A friend of mine, that we had an issue between some members of our family, and Mike did a great job, sat there. He didn't charge us a dime, and when it came down to it, a member of our family was guilty. You know, and I respect that man. He didn't hold back. He weighed the evidence, and it came out. You know, our family was guilty, so we made it right. And me and the father of the head of the household, we're still friends today. You know, because when you do something wrong, you need to make it right. And then when you make it right, you need to forget it. Both people need to forget it. You don't need to keep it holding over the other's head. We've got a short life here. We need to enjoy it. Okay, so to close this up, what's going to happen? We're going to hold our court. 12 jurors are going to hear the evidence. That evidence better be in writing, better be submitted before the court, and then they better show up for court, because if they don't, you know, and they're going to have to explain not their part then, but why they didn't answer, why they didn't do what was right. Because right now, everybody that's got a case, these complaints against me, you could drop it and send me a letter and say you're sorry, and I'd say, okay, that's it, no big deal. But other than that, this Judge Nathaniel Knutz, or however you say his family name, he's pretty much an idiot, because I told him, was it criminal contempt or civil? He said criminal. I said, good, put the witness on the stand so I can make a remedy. I want to make a remedy. I want to write it. He just ignored that. And so I knew, well, okay, when you put somebody in jail, there better be a crime. So there's a witness going to have to take the stand and explain the order that the court had that I disobeyed, a lawful order that I disobeyed. That's one thing that the Supreme Court, their Supreme Court, said is criminal contempt. Or name the man or the woman that I threatened bodily harm to. I didn't threaten anybody in that court, do any bodily harm to them. Or explain how I was running around the court, disrupting it so that they couldn't hold court. I'm not guilty of any one of those 3 things. So I told him, okay, well, I'll accept your order. Just like when you go to McDonald's and order a sandwich, you got to pay for that order. So I said, to place that order, it'll be 10,000 silver dollars in U.S. Mint coin and 100 silver dollars for each minute that it takes to make remedy. I stayed every bit of 30 days in that jail, being a good guy. Ask the deputies, man. They love me. I love them too. And so that totals up somewhere around $84 million. And that man's going to pay me. That man's going to pay me because he took 30 days of my life and made me sit in a concrete cell on a metal frame with a piece of crap foam bed and eat the most ridiculous stuff called food that you could call food for 30 days and have to purify my own water because all I got is chlorinated water in there. You know, and so between fasting and being very selective of what I ate, you know, I lost 13 pounds, which was quite good. And, you know, so I got to meet some guys, got to speak a little bit of truth to them. And it's time to collect now. And I'm going to get a jury of my peers to agree with me, because you can't go through life abusing people, especially a man who has taken an oath to uphold the Constitution of the state of North Carolina and the Constitution of the United States. And the United States is superior. In other words, the Constitution of the state of North Carolina can't make any kind of law that would go against the United States. And I'm here to tell you, and the Constitution of the United States can't make a law that goes against the Scripture, because both of them say that a man has a right to obey his conscience. And my conscience says, Yehua, he's my man. He is the man. He's the one that I love. I love to read his word. I love to find out all the mistakes I've made and correct them. And there'll be more on that later. So I appreciate you guys. If you got an issue where you've been foreclosed on, you got a traffic ticket, somebody's done you wrong, You worried about an employee? I mean, it's the dumbest thing, you know, and people walk around like, oh, I feel like it does good. Well, you know, okay, carry a rabbit's foot too. Some people say that does good, but it didn't do no good for the rabbit. So the biggest thing you got to do is you need to get smart. You need to get educated. Anyway, I've taken up enough time. I appreciate you guys. I want to see some people show up. We'll have a way to you RSVP that you're going to come so we'll know how many people, because the facility we got might not hold everybody that I expect probably to show up for this. Other than that, remember, for you watchmen, the time is now. It's time to wake up and do our job. Have a great day.